LeMahieu and Gleyber Torres out of the lineup. Luke Voigt did agility drills. But here's the big news. Tyler Glasnow, who's been out since May 11th with that right forearm stuff, will resume throwing in about a week. So that's the good news right there, okay? Tampa really had to beat the Yankees in the series, and they play Baltimore. I'll tell you what, that's done. I'll tell you something else. Charlie Culberson, boy, he loves to pinch hit. He's batting .323 as a pinch hitter. Josh Donaldson, as it turns out, he had a strong first half. So the Braves are 10-2 against the Marlins, 24-7 in the last 2 years. Okay, Garrett Cooper hit a 3-run homer off Chad Sabatka, and that's really about it. I mean, look, Donaldson, who has hit 10 homers since June 11th, 143 home runs by Atlanta since before the All-Star break, and that's pretty good hitting. Everybody's doing it. Brian Anderson, who was out with an elbow contusion, may be cleared to return to the lineup after the All-Star break, so he has missed 5 straight starts. And Dansby Swanson, 0 for 5, he missed the first 2 games of the series. But I'll tell you something, like I said, Donaldson's one of 5 Atlanta players with 15 homers, and Ozzie Albies had 14. So that's pretty good, and I'll tell you, that is pretty good. This Atlanta team, they're going to be very, very tough to beat. The Brewers and the Pirates, and Brian Reynolds hit a 3-run homer in the 7th. The Pirates beat Milwaukee, and Reynolds, I got to tell you something, this kid has come out of nowhere. His shot was over 400. He also had an RBI double. He's batting .342. He's got a .950 OPS. Man. We all knew that Christian Yelich is out of the home run derby. Keep an eye on Jesus Aguilar. Keep an eye on Jesus Aguilar. Okay, he had a 2-run drive in the 7th off of Joe Musgrove that tied the game at 3. His second home run of the game, 8th of the season. Pick him up. Get him right now. Keston Hiura hit a 2-run homer. Okay, his 7th of the year. Unbelievable. And this kid, Mauricio Dubon, who got called up, don't even bid on him. He's not staying up. Telling you right now, don't bid on him. Not staying up. Okay? So let's not go crazy with this kid. Every time somebody new comes up, everybody goes bull dinky. The Nationals used the 3-run 8th inning to beat the Royals 5-2. They're talking it up now with Anthony Rendon. The resurgent Nats have blown past Philadelphia into second place. Okay, they're 28-11. They've lost 1 of 13 series, so they're back and starting pitching. Patrick Corbin struck out 11, scattered 5 hits over 7 innings, and over the last 7 games, that's right. The last 7 games, the National starters have a 1.35 ERA, 65 strikeouts. It was the 9th time in the last 12 games that Washington starters allowed 1 run or less, and it's been what they hoped for: Scherzer, Corbin, and Strasburg. I'm telling you, if these guys continue to pitch, it's going to be. And they have to sign Rendon. They have to, because they can't trade him now. They have to. So Rendon's become a big-time player. Big-time player on this team. The Angels and the Astros. Mike Trout hit 2 home runs. Ohtani hit his 14th. I'm telling you, Ohtani, in my opinion, there's a chance he may not pitch anymore. George Springer hit a game-ending RBI single in the 10th, and the Astros beat the Angels 11-10. Terrible collision at the plate. Jonathan LaCroix is going to be out for a while. We talked about Yuli hitting that grand slam. And Trout homered twice. I'll tell you, as good as Trout is, and everybody says American League best, he's got 28 home runs. That's a franchise record for home runs before the All-Star break. And I don't care how many, it should be how many games played, not the All-Star break. But, baseball likes to jazz it up. 2-run home run by Ohtani for the Angels in a 5-run third inning, gave him the lead. Gurriel has hit 9 homers in his last 11 games, 14 for the year. Andrea is responsible. Justin Upton sat out his 4th game with a tight quad. Is expected to return after the All-Star game. So there you go. The Angels are going to be tough. Boy, they get a couple of pitchers. This is going to be interesting to see what the Angels do at the trading deadline. Interesting. Roughneck Odor, 3-run homer in the 11th, gives Texas a 4-1 win over the shaky Minnesota Twins. Reliever Jose Leclerc, Andrea's the closer that she traded for, started and pitched an inning and 2/3. Sorry, honey, but that was not good. Thank God for Gurriel. Odor's 13th homer of the season into the left field bullpen came off of Alberto Mejia. I don't even know why I mentioned that. Danny Santana had 4 hits for Texas. Sin-Chu Chu reached base 4 times. Okay, so it's been, I'll tell you what, this Minnesota team, we all thought they would run away with it, but not the case. And I told you about Max Kepler being pretty well banged up. All right, so be careful if you have Kepler. The Cubs and the White Sox, and Ivan Nova delivered in a big way. He was 0-4 with an 8.3 ERA in his first 7 starts here in Chicago, but at home. And Jimenez, once again, his 16th home run against Kyle Hendricks in the 4th inning. Abreu had 3 hits, including a home run. Yoan Moncada extended his career-high hitting streak to 13 games. Alex Colomé worked the 9th for his 20th save and 21 chances. So, pretty big. Now, Hendricks lost his 3rd straight start. He was 6-0 in his previous 8. He gave up 2 runs, 4 hits through 86 pitches. Second outing. Now's the time to go ahead and try to get Kyle Hendricks, okay? Try to get him. Robel Garcia. Remember? You heard him first last week, a couple of days before he was called up. He homered for the 2nd time in 4 games. But Ian Happ is also starting to slug the ball. They can't keep Ian Happ down all year. So Garcia had better keep up this pace. We'll see what happens. But don't forget Ian Happ. If you want to pick up a player, pick him up. Okay? I'm telling you, they're not going to keep him down all year. And I know they got Zobrist coming back, but Ian Happ could be the catalyst. He could play a lot of positions, and if he's hot, the Cubs could use him. White Sox option Daniel Palka. He didn't pan out this year, so I'm not making a big deal about that. Just letting you know. The Cardinals and the Giants. Flaherty pitched a great game. I'll tell you, Evan Longoria homered with 1 out in the 7th, and that broke up Flaherty's bid for a no-hitter. And but the Giants managed only 1 base runner against Flaherty until Longoria hit that home run. San Francisco won for the 7th time in 9 games, despite getting only 2 hits. Flaherty was tremendous. He retired the first 12 before he walked Alex Dickerson. He struck out 6, 2 hits in 7 innings. Samardzija 7 scoreless innings. I'll tell you, and watch out for Yaro Munez. He had 2 hits for St. Louis. The Cardinals finished 4-5 on their road trip, and they headed to the All-Star break only 2 games behind first place Chicago. So, and Kevin Pillar just playing fantastic defense. Made 2 great plays. Colton Wong was held out. He had left calf tightness. He's expected to be back in the lineup. And Baumgartner was still sore. He got hit near his left elbow, 98-mile-an-hour line drive, but it wasn't bad. He's not going to miss a start, and he still could be traded. But if I'm a Giant fan, now I'm rooting for them to lose. Same way back in 1960, the New York Knicks were on pace to get the first draft pick was Oscar Robertson, but he was a territorial pick. He went to the University of Cincinnati, so the Cincinnati team automatically got him. That's how it was in the NBA. It was called a territorial pick. So the second pick was really the first pick. And the Knicks were on target. And then they won 4 out of 6 games. And when they realized that, oh, shit, man, we're going to lose. They lost 13 out of 14, but they lost by 1 game. And the Minneapolis Lakers drafted a kid named Jerry West. The Knicks could have had him, would have changed the entire Knicks franchise. The Knicks took a 6'10 center from California named Darrell Imhoff. The Knicks blew it in 1960, and they've never recovered. They could have had Jerry West, and in spite of the fact that they lost 13 out of 14 games, they blew it by winning 4 out of 6, and that was just awful. Colorado and Arizona, I'll tell you something very interesting. Torey Lovullo removed Alex Young in the midst of a no-hitter. He's decided to protect the rookie left-hander's future over chasing the no-hitter. And look, 6 no-hit innings in his second career start, so it was only 6. He bounced around the minor leagues. He was in the bullpen, in the rotation. I agree with that decision. Eduardo Escobar had 3 RBIs and finished a homer shy of the cycle. Chris Iannetta hit a 2-run homer. Story hit a solo shot over Greg Holland, and Holland got the next 3 hitters for his 14th save. Colorado lost 6 straight, 11 out of 14, entering the All-Star game. That's not good. So Marquez didn't pitch well. Nolan Arenado just playing well, but neither team named a starter for after the All-Star game here. But I'll tell you, and Christian Walker 1 for 4. Nick Ahmad hit a home run. Story and Iannetta. Iannetta's been a big disappointment for me, and I just recently dropped him for Carson Kelly. Okay, so that took care of that. All right, so moving right along, we got the Padres and the Dodgers, and Fernando Tatis. Wow, homered twice, 4 RBIs. Manny Margot also homered. 3-game winning streak for the Padres. Will they trade their closer Yates? That's the big question mark. Max Muncy and Justin Turner homered for the Dodgers. Closed out the first half with the most victory in the majors. 15th major league team in history to win 60 games. But I haven't counted. But how many games have they played before the All-Star? Remember they started the season early? I don't know. But Tatis has been better than I expected. Okay? Muncy, 22nd home run of the season. It's really crazy with the home runs. You don't know who's good and who's not. Kirby Yates pitched the 9th inning for his 30th save in 31 tries. He earned the save in all 3 victories over the Dodgers in this series, and they will be offered a boatload to get Tyler Yates. The big question, will they trade Tyler Yates? That's the big question. Tatis, first multi-homer of his career at age 20. 14 home runs, 4th among NL rookies. He now has 21 multi-hit games. 21 multi-hit games. And finally, the last show on the board. And a sincere thank you to everybody. Don't forget, if you're listening on Stitcher, iTunes, or whatever, come to the site, register for free, come into the chat room at any time during the day, and all you show hosts, please keep a lookout. I want the new people, I want everybody to have our phone number. With baseball taking off Sirius and every place else, you need questions answered, come to the chat room. Get my phone number. Call us anytime. Okay? But you got to register for free. And if you want my number and you're listening, send me an email, lennymelnick@gmail.com. Happy to talk to you. Finally, Semien, Olson, Laureano hit home runs, and home run derby. Matt Chapman was kept out of the lineup, okay? Holy mackerel. Semien and Laureano added solo shots. The home run streak is now 12 games. They've hit 24 home runs during the span, extended their team home run record to 145. Olsen, 19. Unbelievable. We knew this was coming. We saw it in the minors. Mencken was sharp against the Mariners with the exception of Omar Narvaez hit his 13th home run. Okay? Narvaez added his second solo shot in the 8th against Soria. So nice game.